In our previous video, we discussed whether or not men and women are the same, and we came to a conclusion that men and women are different and we can never be the same or equal, and that we are... Why am I giving you all the recap? Go and check the video in the link above. I shouldn't tell them everything, you see, so that they'll go and watch the previous video if they haven't watched it. So if you watch the previous video, you know what we are talking about. And today we are going to discuss more into the differences between men and women and how that affects relationship, because we learned that men and women are not really the same. So how does it affect our relationship, and how different are we from each other? So we can safely say that what love means to a woman is not the same as what love means to a man, and that's point number one. Welcome to Time with Joy. If you're new here, please do also subscribe, like this video, and share with others. This is Chit Chat on the Couch. Do also watch till the end of the video, because I think point number 5 is the most interesting. Stay till then. Our point number 1 is that men interpret respect as love and women interpret romance as love. Please allow us. So in the world of men, we can safely say that no matter how much you tell a man that you love him, like the way I tell my husband I love him every day, but it doesn't mean anything to him if I don't show him the respect that he thinks he deserves or he thinks he needs, he will not feel loved. Am I right?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. You know, when we were all kids, we used to bath outside with no issues, right?
Yeah.
And naturally, when you are growing up, you begin to be self-aware. Yeah, that you have a certain ego to protect. Good. So I believe that every human being has a certain level of pride.
Yeah,
that makes us humans, that makes societies work. Yes, because everybody needs to protect a certain reputation. It's actually our pride, right? Good. But aside the basic human pride level, masculinity, being a man, comes with an adjusted
ego.
No,
That's not I understand.
That's not our muscle 247. Imagine when we're in the class.
But some men actually blow it out of proportion.
I'll come. Probably we may come there. Yes, of course. Now, realize that in school, when you close from school and then a lady challenges you to a fight, already, if the lady challenges a man to a fight, already the lady has won. Because it is in our minds that the man is supposed to be more or less on top, kind of the more aggressive, the more... What is the point I'm trying to drive at? Masculinity has a certain level of ego that comes naturally as a man.
Okay.
We have a natural propensity to be egoistic. We don't like to be advised.
At all.
Yes.
At all.
We don't like to be advised, especially by the women. Your opinion comes in as an alternative to what you have already told to do.
Choose what they wanted to choose.
That is a man. Not that they are strong-headed or daft or pig-headed, but the point is that they love to be initiators of their own solutions. They want to take pride in the fact that a problem came and they've solved it, right? So the primary need for a man is to value or to place a certain worth on him. I don't want to say respect, because some men are not deserving of respect because of course the way they behave and all that. But the primary thing is that when we all agree that men have a certain ego they have to protect as being a man, just by being a man you have a certain ego, a certain a predisposition that you need to protect, right? It's natural. So with that, if you meet a lady and the lady does not recognize this, every other thing will not matter.
That's true.
Right? Every other thing will not matter. So respect, first and foremost, is of utmost importance. Yes.
I think I agree, because if a man feels that he's not loved in his home, it's basically because he feels he's not respected, or he's not listened to, or he's not valued, like he said. And that actually makes sense, because I've heard a counselor say that 90% of the time, when the men come for counseling, or when a couple comes for counseling, what the man complains about is that she doesn't respect me. Yes. And for the women, we interpret love as romance.
It is what it is.
And I think a lot of men misinterpret romance to mean sex. It's far from sex. Romance is not sex.
You people don't understand.
We will get there. I know where you're coming from. But being romantic is just doing the normal things. Sorry, it's just doing the normal things in an extraordinary way. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. So we want to be cared for, we want to be cherished, we want to be pampered, like protected. That's how women interpret love to be. That's why a lot of the playboys, when they know this card, they play it on a lot of ladies, and the ladies think or feel it's love at the beginning, but well, time will tell. So men and women are different. In what way? In the way we interpret love to mean. Men interpret respect to be love, and women interpret romance to be love.
Sure. There's a Bible verse. So that is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25.
Yes.
So that husbands love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. But in the same context, it says that wives submit to your husbands.
So you see, the Bible has given us a clue on how to even go about this in the first place.
Yes.
So it's as simple as that. It's not as simple as it seems, but it's as easy as that. It's clearly written in the scripture that submit to your husband, and that's in quote respect.
Yes.
Because if you respect someone, you submit to, or if you respect an authority, you submit to that authority.
That actually should tell a lot of ladies that they should be considering the kind of person they want to be submitting to.
Yes.
My spiritual father used to say, if you are a lady, you don't submit to a fool. At all. You have to choose and choose wisely. So it goes to all the ladies, the wonderful ladies out there.
I've mentioned it in some
consider the person you want to submit to. The boyfriend you are calling a boyfriend, do you really want to make him your head? Because you have to totally submit and obey. So as the man gives love to the wife reciprocates and submits easily. I don't subscribe to the fact that it's hard for women to submit. But I think it's hard for women to submit to men that are not worthy of submission. Yes, when a man is worthy, proves himself to be, giving the love that God has already fashioned to be given to the woman, it's easy for the woman to also reciprocate.
That's
I think
true.
that's how it goes.
Not to overstretch the point, but then I've mentioned it in one of my very previous videos that even wise Abigail had to submit to foolish Nabal.
Yeah. In
Genesis, God cursed the woman that your desire shall be unto your man, but God was merciful enough to allow you choose the man that your desire shall be submitted unto. Just choose wisely, because if you choose a foolish man, you have to submit to that foolish man. If you choose a proud man, or you just have to submit to that man there will be no excuse after that. So before that, make sure you choose wisely. If you can't, my line, if you can't spend the rest of your life with them, don't be dating them.
As simple as that.
As simple as that. I think I've hammered on this a lot of times. Let's move to the next point before we may end up talking about point one for 30 minutes. A second difference that we have taken note here is the fact that men seem to be more critical and women seem to be more emotional in some situations. But we have discussed that extensively. In this video. It should be here. Yes, in this video. So make sure to check out the link, and then you have everything on this point.
But to hammer on that point, how it actually plays out in a relationship.
Yes. We should discuss that.
In a scenario, for example, a perfect example came to mind, but I don't want to expose you for my messes
You can
my
share.
mercies are everlasting.
Me, I am not.
But let's say you walk to a mall, right? And she sees something, she goes like, "Oh, this thing, baby, you don't need to get in it." And there's before you left the house,
Budget.
there's a budget. The man says, "Like, please move forward." And that at that point, all the things she needs have not been bought. That thing she wants to get it, right? In that moment, the man may end up buying, but will be despising the woman for being either a spendthrift or profligate, that wasteful, right? Or so many other adjectives that can be used in this regard.
Funnily enough, on a general note, men, when it comes to who keeps money better is the women. But it's not part of the point we've stated here.
We've hammered this point, but how it plays out in relationship with some of the examples, you can take a decision, you know that this is the decision that will help. She knows that this is not going to help, but she still wants to stay. I'm struggling so hard not to use her example. But God will help us. Oh, the rent. When you moved.
Please don't use forbidden for reasons.
You are exposed.
No, I'm not exposed.
You see,
I compromised to let you have it.
So most of the time, it looks like it behoves on the men.
So now, the only reason why we did not jump over this point was because we wanted to talk about that scenario. You see,
it further enlightens the point we are trying to.
We've explained this point.
So the guys out there,
extensively.
Please be the brain in the house. If you take a decision, you make sure both of you take a decision today. Oh, we are going to buy a kilo of rice. Make sure you stick to it, because if you don't and you want to be emotional about it, oh, my wife said this, my wife said that. By the time you are coming back from the shop, you will be carrying 22 kilos of rice, and the 21 extra will be bought by loan. I'm telling you.
So our third point is that men are generally more focused at their work, on their work, than women are, and women are more family focused than men are. So a study was done among high achieving women, and then they were asked what was some of the things that they regret most in their lives, and then most of them said that, like, I can't give specific figures and percentages, but then most of them said that they regret not spending more time with their family. That shows to an extent how much women value relationships and family and their children and than their work. Not that work does not matter.
Sure.
Okay. In this era, women are going to the highest, like they are creating seats on the tables and all that. Allow us break the glass ceiling and all that. But then family is very important to us, and relationship is very important to us, more than it seems like it is to men. Not that it's like, I just think that some are higher than. So when you meet a group of guys, like after 10 years of graduating school, and you meet each other, oh, yo boy, hey, this will be like, oh, I'm the bank manager for GC. Be like, hey, why, child? They will be greeting you and all that. Maybe you've not even married or you don't have family. Everybody will be hailing you because they feel that you are enjoying life more than they are. Because to them, you've gotten like the best. You are achieving the most when it comes to the area of your work. But when women meet, we are all 45-year-olds and we've met. Let the woman be the CEO of World Bank or the MD. If she's not married, we will all look at her like, God will do it, okay? As if whether or not she wants to be married is not the concern. All the women are concerned for her in the area of family, because we believe that for women, we believe or we value family life more than the men do. But like I said, the men, if you are not married and you are making money, everybody will hail you. Yeah. What do you say? What do you have to say?
I think you've made a point very clear. Yeah. That is why unemployed men and unmarried women are the biggest, most desperate category of people on the planet. So
but unemployed women, okay, it's not as bad as the men. Okay, it's bad.
Try being a CEO and unmarried.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the number of celebrities that are well to do, that are probably crying in their rooms. I think I watched an interview of of a Ghanaian actress. I cannot disclose the name, and she talked about how she cries herself to sleep almost every night, not because she cannot marry, but because the kind of men that she attracts is not marriage material. Because she's there up there in that class, and all the men that come to her want other things other than settling down, and it becomes a problem. So how that unemployment becomes a big challenge to a guy, whether or not he's married is not really a point until he is gainfully employed. And to the woman, whether or not she's working, is an aside until there's something that culminates into family living, right? That goes to buttress the same point that we've made over and over and over again, because historically and traditionally, men have always been providers, and our society, including women, is supposed to come to the place of appreciating the desire of men to be providers. So if my wife earns 10 times that I do, naturally she has the ability to provide for the house more than I would do. But we realize that there will be a spirit that will not submit to the fact that he should keep his money and then wife pay for everything. There will be that aspect of him that will always want to provide, and it's natural. We shouldn't suppress that, and we shouldn't change it, because we shouldn't go against nature, right? So traditionally, we've always been providing, and our women need to appreciate our desire to provide and to protect. Very important to provide and to protect.
Be giving me more money, okay?
So that is what I have
you
to
want
say.
to provide now. I want to change my hair. So I also want to add that naturally, even our physical body frame has been made for nurturing and catering for family. So we are more in tune with nurturing basically than men are. A lot of times when I watch this daddy videos with their kids and mommy videos, the difference is so wide.
Not to cut you short.
Okay.
You know, when a mother is with a child, that is a mother and a child. A mother taking care of the child. When a mother has to go to town and leaves the child or the baby for the father to take care of, that is not a father and a child. That is a father and a problem. You come back, you find your son glued to the wall.
Yeah, I know.
That's where
one of my mentors cited an example. Said if you can leave 3 children with a woman, and then she'll be cooking at the same time, folding clothes, doing laundry, sweeping around the house, and still taking care of the kids, and even be feeding them. You leave 3 kids with a man for 10 minutes. You come back and you not find 2 of them. And when you ask me, like, he was just here, and then even the one that is left will also be missing.
Exactly. So we should understand how the individual differences, because if the child cries, we think it's a problem that needs a solution. So if we have to glue the child's mouth to stop the crying, we will do it. But to the woman, she would want to communicate with the child on a certain level, get to understand what it needs, or he or she needs, the child needs, and try to meet the need to, on an emotional level. So because of that bond.
You just reminded me of a point that I nearly forgot. So this was going to be our point number 4. So our special point will be point number 6 now. Point number 4, that's if you are done with this one, will be that women talk for communication or affection or something, but men talk for information. When a man calls another man, it's because they're asking for, how much is the price of the shoe that you're selling? 300 cedis. Okay, fine. Most of the time, it's women that complain that you don't call me, you don't text me. We want we are sometimes when we are talking about our problems, it's not because we don't know what to do about the problem or we don't know the solution to the problem, but just because we want to communicate it and lift off a burden so that someone else is aware of the issues that you're going through and will sympathize with you and all that. But men, they talk for information. Men can decide not to talk to each other for 2 years, and the next time they call, everybody's okay, and it's been my guy, it been long ago. Then they just ask for what they are looking for and then let's go. But you can't do that to a woman. Before you can ask a woman about some information that you need, if you've not spoken to them for a while, you have to start a process. Oh, check, hey, like it's been long ahead from you for about 2 weeks before you come and ask of that, or else it will be a fight. You can't just go ahead and call someone you've not spoken, a lady you've not spoken to for a long time, and then just go asking for information. It does not work for us that way. But for guys,
very true.
But our fifth point is the fact that we can safely say on a general level that men are more forward oriented than women are, and women are past oriented. Men have like a vision and like targets, things that they want to achieve. They are forward looking. Let's just get over this. This is just an issue and move on. But a woman will not agree. Lady Reverend Funke cited an example. She said one time you can just go and meet your wife and she'll be crying and you ask her, my darling, what is the problem? Why are you crying? Nothing. You keep on crying. She'll tell you, have you forgotten? Today is 3rd July. What has 3rd July got to do? It's the 10th anniversary of your adultery. We cannot forget what happened in the past. So we've had a lot of misunderstandings in the past where I had not let go of some things in the past because we've not fully exhausted or discussed it. It was still in my system till we had to discuss and diagnose and everything before we could move on. But for him, okay, let's just move. Just another hurdle we have to cross, and that was it.
I think the point is well explained. Men tend to see or address problems pragmatically.
Yeah.
A problem solution solved. Let's move on. I heard you. Do you want apology? I apologize. Solved. Let's move on.
The apology is not sincere.
But a woman will then pay attention to the details, how you really insulted her,
and even how your apology should come. Yes, it's important. You cannot just say I'm sorry. You have to, oh my dear, I didn't know that what I did offended you and I'm really sorry, and go on your knees and cry.
So, it's easier to settle a conflict between two men than two women. Yes, because the guy is looking at possible. I mean, why should we waste time on this when you could be chatting about some business or some moves? But the lady, it's a bit complicated, right? You leave two men in a room, they fight, they come together.
Yeah, you fight right now and they'll be eating Indomie the next week.
Because they've not forgotten about what's in the past. So I think the point is
our final point, which is point number 6. And if you did watch till now, thank you so much. We are grateful that you've watched till now. So please do well to subscribe. Please do well to subscribe if you've enjoyed the video so far, and then like this video and share with others. In one of our next videos, we are going to talk about gender roles and how all these things also come into play in that regard. So our set point is that men trade love for sex and women trade sex for love, and that is a big mistake that a lot of women make. I've heard these stories several times, and then women still keep falling prey to this thing. It's sad and it's funny because the man knows that the woman wants that romantic or interprets romance and caregiving and attention and protection and all that for love, and love sometimes seems the same as infatuation and lust. in the beginning. It's time that tells the difference. But then from the beginning, the woman might not really be able to tell the difference, because especially the playboys, they know how to play that card very well, how to make a woman feel loved when they actually don't love her. They do that to get into her pants. Forgive me for being too raw, but that is the truth.
So tell me the truth.
That is the truth. So they will buy you the most expensive meals, take you to, some of them don't even have money, they'll go and buy you KFC, buy you all that they think you need, or you think you need, do everything, be calling you morning, evening, afternoon, midnight, midday, free after 1, everything. They will do everything that you want or you will interpret as love, just to get into your pants. And after that, they will not call you again. Like, they'll just go MIA. They'll just ghost you like that. Shum shum. Just to chip in a little advice, this is where, my ladies, you need to wise up. As Christian women, we need to uphold ourselves with all purity as much as we can. Because the guys, it's sad though, because I've heard this story so many times that it's becoming, not that we are better off or anything, because we could have easily fallen prey to this, but it's just a grace and some little wisdom and advice that we received, that we took. So please take this advice and stay away from those men. Push your legs, because most of them, they will chase you, some for years. Oh
Yes.
So they'll trade all that to get sex, and then, as emotional as we can be, we feel that, oh, this guy is so loving, oh, this guy is so caring, so protective, does this, he calls me, everything. And like I said, even infatuation can look like love from the beginning. And so you feel kind of indebted. I have so much to say on this point, but then let me try and be as short as possible. A lot of those guys don't give things for free. So if someone is dashing you a lot of things, it is just having the package of free, but inside it's expensive. A lot of ladies begin to feel indebted to these guys, and then they feel the only thing they can offer them is sex. So thinking that when you give them sex, then maybe they will love you more. But my sister, it's a lie. You deceive yourself. So most ladies tend to give sex thinking that they will get more of that love that they are getting from the man, which is mostly not true. And the men also give you all that you need. Everything. Everything you want to hear. They tell you all the sweet words. And some of the words, wallahi, you easily fall. You count it all up.
Okay. This point it carries a lot.
Yeah.
Personally, I've learned so much from what you've shared.
Yeah.
The fact that men treat love for sex, right? I think it's a plethora of factors, but the factor that I'm bringing for the purpose of today's video is the fact that most of us men are not educated rightly.
Yeah.
You're not given the right education, in the sense that we know that we are moved by the things we see.
Yeah.
And that which attracts to a greater percentage, because I cannot say that with utmost authority, but at a greater percentage of what attracts a man to a woman will be the physical looks.
Yeah.
Oh, you may be wise, you may be rich, but that's not what
the initial.
But then the primary, very key, is the initial looks. And the looks has a song it is singing to the man, says that you are fair
to look upon.
So when that comes into play, already in his heart, if he gets you,
you're in trouble.
You are in trouble. Okay, that is not the problem. I have been there before. It is not a problem to not last, but to imagine in a flash, in a moment, that Charlie, this one, she's nice. But then, because now the woman has now opened a way for him to come in a way that she's now accepting gifts, accepting the love, then the man feels that he's inching closer and closer
closer,
and
yeah.
closer and closer to the false ultimate.
Yeah.
Sex is not the ultimate.
Yeah.
So that's what he's saying, the false ultimate.
ultimate.
So realize that he inches closer and closer and closer, like I was saying the last time. I created a scenario where you were a girl, you go to visit your boyfriend, you are sitting in the car, the light goes off, you watch a romantic movie and the light goes off, and you don't have anything to say. You this one pushes, the other one pushes, this one pushes, and in that moment, do you want the guy to say, let's pray? No.
You've pushed the boundaries a little further.
Because the guy knows that even you having the heart to move from your room to the guy's room at 10 p.m. to come and watch movie, think that nothing will happen.
That's a boundary.
That one is a temptation a guy will want to fall in. So because of that, we have been educated as to think, and it's two things. Internally, we are moved by the things we see. Oh, the girl is nice, the back, the front, everything is perfect. Those ones are sexual. Those are sexual connotations, right? And then in the education, which I want to hammer now, even advert about drinking water is sexual. It's sexually explicit. Yes. So all those things come together, and then it looks as though the man wants to have sex as the ultimate fulfillment of his purpose concerning a certain woman. So when that happens, it's not only the ladies that feel guilt, but also the men also, because they realize that but this thing is really nothing. So they begin to despise themselves, and they begin to despise the woman. That is what happened to is it Amnon and Tamar, two children of King David, right? One slept with the other and immediately began to despise her. That attraction is not love. It's not. It's something other than.
He thought he loved her to the point of sickness and death.
Yes, but then immediately he got what he wanted. He realized that but this thing, 2 minutes. So all that we are trying to say. All that I'm trying to say on this point, and what you've already shared, is that it is true, but it is not a problem with guys. It's just that we've sometimes been miseducated. So we need to come back to the original thinking that there is something so much more important than sex as an end in itself. I've spoken to a lot of old men that are going on pension, and what they prize is not sex.
It's not.
Almost all of them talk about companionship, the friendship, and the care. I know men that got divorced and within 2 years they died. Yes, out of loneliness and out of nobody. He had 4 children, and then he got custody of all the 4, but he couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up. But he had to do this. He had to die. He had to pick them from school and all that. He had to die. He died because the wife was there, feeling. I live here. I don't bother buying bed sheets. I live with you here. Bed sheets, earbuds. I don't know when the time that the soaps are even replaced. I have no time for that. The woman keeps the house. Not that way. I can do it. I was living alone, but it will be the time I enter the bathroom and realize that so pasa. Then you are angry with yourself. You don't know when the time the paper will finish because sardine, you are done. You see, so all those things come to play. So that is what I can say about that. But men need to be re-educated. Sex is not the ultimate.
And women need to be re-educated. That the fact that he's showering gifts on you doesn't mean you should open your
guard.
The only card that will run to you open your leg is this. And we used to think that probably people talk about it too much, but it was for our own good.
Yes.
It's really, really for our own good. And sister, wait, take your time. Brother, wait. Down ball. Relax. So, thank you for watching till now. Bye-bye.
Bye.